Good Thursday morning on this October 7th. It's going to be unseasonably warm. Thanks for joining us here on our 8:30 stream, which we start each weekday, Monday through Friday here at 8:30. Mitch and Casey will be along in a moment. I want to highlight, as we draw close to the Fall Festival, that we are going to have some rain chances that will be picking up as we go into next week, specifically next Tuesday. We might add some alert time for next Tuesday. I'll take this full. Going to say good morning to some folks. There's a big 70% chance next Tuesday, especially during the afternoon and evening. Now, for today, you see that chance for some spotty sprinkles and light rain and then into tomorrow morning. All right, Leslie, 14 News. Good morning to you. Jenny, Lisa, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. So we'll highlight how do we get to this for next Tuesday and some of the long-range guidance and then into next Wednesday. And then even some jacket weather next week at the Fall Festival. Coffee's tasting good here on a Thursday morning. All right, let's take a look at our outlooks. The 6, 10, even the 14-day outlooks, even though we're going to have some days that actually could go below normal at times next week. The trend is through the 12th, that's Sunday, October 12th. The guide is to be above normal as far as precipitation. Got some cross-country matches, meets taking place today. The heat index up as high as 89. Not what you would have like what we had back in late June or actually in early June, July and August when we had those heat indexes at times up over 110. On Doppler radar, all the showers this morning have been out in Kansas and portions of Oklahoma from about Emporia, Kansas, Wichita, Ponca City. We called out Hobart, Oklahoma, and then you get out into Independence, Missouri, and then out towards Kansas City, a few sprinkles, and down through Florida. Umberto, Imelda will be worked their east now of Bermuda, will not be a factor for the U.S. coast. And the Outer Banks, about 6, 7 homes, and the Outer Banks were destroyed from the flooding there, with no reports of any injuries. This is pretty common, though, but everybody's all right. Let's take a look at some of our averages. I'll fill in the almanac page. We're looking for 87. 96 in 2019. We're going to highlight this coming up later on 14 News with Arden Gregory at 11 and then at noon. But in the Fall Festival, during the Fall Festival that year, we started out in the lower 70s. So we had smashed a record high, but it cooled down in time for the Fall Festival. Cloud guidance, we have a mid-level disturbance. We'll bring some extra clouds. It's in the mid-level portion of the atmosphere. So we'll go over to mostly cloudy skies, a little sun working on through, but we have some scattered cloud layers at 5 to 10, and then up over 25,000 feet. So those high-level clouds you start to see now that are increasing a bit here this morning, but the sun's still going to win out very nicely here during the morning hours. Then we'll see an influx of clouds as we go into the afternoon. So at times more clouds than sunshine. And we talked about a few sprinkles, wouldn't rain out any events. We talked yesterday kind of along the Ohio River into western Kentucky where we could see a few spotty showers. And even later tonight, we could see a thunderstorm or two, but I don't anticipate anything in the way of severe weather. And then Friday, we're going to keep rain, some spotty rain in the forecast until about 9. Nothing significant, 200-300 in the rain gauge, and that would be about it. So this is 1, 2 in the afternoon on Friday. By the time the football games, you kick off on Friday evening. No hot chocolate warnings. It's going to be warm. Spotty shower, but I think we'll see more in the way of clearing skies. And I've included Saturday here, but Saturday and Sunday, a pair of 87s. That's going to be it. Well, that's well above normal. Well above the average for this time of year. So if you kept your pool open, you're in good shape. Changes on Tuesday. Not all the guidance or outlooks are showing a lot of rain on Tuesday, but I'm using the European model here, which I used yesterday. Tuesday afternoon. So if you head into the Fall Festival, you have to take your rain equipment. There's that decent chances for rain. Now, I've opened it up with the 70% chance of rain. Yesterday I had a 60% chance. I bumped it up. I bumped the pops up, probability of precipitation. Wednesday, the front works through, but with the caveat, a lot of times when you have a bunch of warm days before a front, you're going to have a delay sometimes where the front could hold off until Wednesday. But right now, it's scheduled to work through Wednesday morning. So I'll take this full, but in the short term, well above average. I've illustrated our average high is at 76. We'll take that full. And then there's that 70% chance of showers. Generally, now by Tuesday afternoon, into Tuesday night, we'd be looking at overcast skies. So any sunshine, I think, would be brief. So I'll probably cloud that up by tomorrow morning. Now look at Wednesday, a high of 75, and then low temperatures cascading into the upper 40s on Wednesday and then Thursday morning. Just as a cautionary note, we do have those 10-day outlooks on our 14 First Alert weather app, so you can check those out. So I appreciate the folks that have chimed in. Good morning to you, Jenny. Leslie Chapman here at 14 News. She says this is like her morning show. Then she comes in, does a great job of reporting. So I appreciate all of you. Mitch and Casey. Casey was off a rare 2-day break. I'm needling Casey. They'll be in. The whole team's back together. They'll have more in a moment.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here for the news portion of the stream show. I'm Mitch Carter.
That's right. I'm Casey Mason. As always, good to be back.
That's right. Welcome
Gone
home.
For a couple days there. Went to the mountains with my family, and now I'm back. Tell you
go.
about that sleep schedule. I was gone just long enough to get off my sleep schedule.
Get comfortable, waking up on
That's
time like an
right.
old person. It goes away quick.
That's right.
Yes.
So good to be back with you and Byron. Of course, Byron just recapped your weather forecast for today. Overall, still not quite feeling like fall yet, but that's okay. We're going to recap a couple of events we want to let you kind of know about here. Talking a little Fall Fest kind of heads up, some things you need to know, Mesker Zoo and Philharmonic events. So obviously not feeling fall-like yet, but it is still great weather out there to go enjoy yourself this time of
very
year.
fall-like events here. And looking ahead, I mean, this one's crazy. 4 days away now from the 104th West Side Nut Club Fall Festival. And it comes as officials say security this year will look a little bit different. Festival officials are going to be using concrete barriers around Franklin Street for the first time. Now, it's all in response to rising security concerns around the country, such as, that car that drove through a crowd of people in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Nut Club officials say festival safety is always a top priority.
As far as like how big our event is, there's always the issue that somebody could come in here and try to do harm. So we try to stay ahead of it, obviously. And, there are things behind closed doors that we talk about and that we're able to have with people down here. They're trying to make it a safer festival for the community.
Other safety measures there, such as traffic changes and police patrols, will also be in place.
That's right, and the weather cooperating on this one as well. Want to kind of go back over this local event taking place. It's the Mesker Park. It's their Wild Summer Lights event. But what's cool about this story that we ran today is this is actually kind of a special spin on this event. So last night the zoo hosted a sensory and accessibility session. So what that means is zoo leaders were trying to really just give a designated chance here to give guests with sensory or mobility challenges their chance to experience the lights comfortably with smaller crowds, no live music, and just an overall calmer atmosphere. They had 2 trams in place that were circling the park for anyone who needed a ride through the lights trail or just over to the exits. And zoo leaders say that this event has grown very popular over the summer here. So what they were doing was just trying to make sure it would be inclusive for everyone.
This event has taken place over the last 8 weeks, and it's been a huge turnout. We've welcomed nearly 40,000 visitors to the zoo just for this event itself. And so this is a huge fundraiser for the zoo, right? So it supports the Evansville Zoological Society, and so this is going to set us up for that next big thing for us and welcome this event back next year as well.
Well, the last chance to see the wild summer lights for the season is this Sunday, October 5th. And Byron Douglas said he has actually been twice.
He's a big lights guy, that
Yeah.
Byron Douglas. I know. He's always hanging out with a grandkid of his. Makes sense. He's not going by himself. He could if he wanted to. Obviously, it's
I'm glad
very
you
cool.
added that.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I
that's
want to
fine.
give him some credit there. And also, another event going on happening today in Evansville. You have the chance here to see a very special performance by the Evansville Philharmonic Orchestra. Tonight at 7 o'clock, members of the string quartet will put on a performance at the Angel Mounds State Historic Site. Performance there is called Moonstrike, and they say it tells the story of 3 American Indian legends about the moon. Officials say admission is free there and open to the public.
That's right. So again, just wanted to recap a couple of local events that are taking place here. Kind of some stories surrounding Fall Fest coming up. Again, the weather, it's still not quite feeling like fall out there, but hey, at least it's nice to still get out and do some things.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're looking forward to Fall Fest. We're gearing up for next week's coverage, right?
Absolutely. There's a lot going on here. Of course, that's always kind of similar to back to school. It's a very, very busy time for us in the news, and that's, all of our stations around here. Everybody wants to get down there, and you see the live weather out there with Jeff Lyons. I don't know if Byron will go out this year or not. I'm hoping he does. He always does such a good job, but we'll talk to the Fall Festival people live every morning on Sunrise. I think the first 3 days, you and I will rotate who goes down there and talks to them live, hopefully get inside of the booth, make some pronto pups, what have you. And then Thursday and Friday, they'll come up here and join us in studio. So we'll have the updates there as the week goes on there, particularly talking about that half pot, which we've already seen jump up several tens of thousands of dollars in less than 24 hours here. It's
Amazing.
crazy.
Even live on air, we had to keep changing our scripts to
Yeah.
a new total each
Yes.
time we would read the total. So, which reminds me, I may have to go get my
I know.
ticket
Yeah,
this
it's time.
afternoon.
Absolutely.
So, well, I think that pretty much does it for today.
Yeah, I think I'm
Recapping a
good
couple
too.
headlines.
Absolutely. Right now it is 8:41, coming up on 8:42. Please enjoy your Thursday. Get ready for Friday. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning.
Yeah. See you then.